What is up, guys? We got a return to an old deck here with a slight change. So, actually, I think it was the first Gwent thing I uploaded was going off this raw points thing, where you're just getting gigantic points. Not super good in the current meta. Returning to it wasn't working so well just because of how much control is going to be out there, and it plays into a lot of it. But you win round one, you can bleed very strong with it, and then have a really good short round, because we're doing a cool little combo here with Mandrake onto Detlaff. So yeah, your idea is you play Detlaff, you can use leader charges, Mandrake to reset it, so then you get like another 2, and then you can use that with the K-Ran or some of your other consumes to just keep running them through. It's pretty strong. This time we also have Haunt thrown in there for extra consumes. But yeah, your ideal kind of plan here, you can see all the consumes we have here for the bronze package, is using Dragolarvas, some consumes, Goliaths, anything like that. Maybe even Haunt if you have to. Win round 1, and then round 2, you're basically going to this full-on combo with your Ruehins. Sorry about that. Caranther onto Ruehin to get 2 of them out there, and then just use all your consumes, your Haunt, anything that you have available. Leader even if you have to, and just run through. You're going to be generating quite a bit of points. Beat your opponent out, and then your short round looking for a Detlaff. Maybe also have Igern, Ozrel combo available at any given point. That's pretty good. Got Mata and Naglfar for some consistency, and then you can see the rest right there. So in its current state, it's pretty decent. You can definitely smack some decks around, but I think a lot of the decks that you're going to run into a lot, they just have so many ways to deal with big units, survive bleeds and things like that, that it's not the best, but it's some fun. It's nice getting some of these combos to go off, and yeah, give it a shot, let me know what you think, and we'll jump into it. He's going to use that for a dual unit, I guess. Going tall is going to hurt. Don't have a lot of options for that. But you get to see the combo, so can't complain too much with that. I thought it wasn't going to change. I was like, bro, what's going on here? I think we're losing this, though. Yeah. Comes his Veraxis. Guess we gain a point with that, even though we're losing some. Yeah, we lose this, man. We're not even that far ahead. That sucks. We were close. We were really close. All the matches with this, unfortunately. Okay, having to do voiceover because it didn't record audio. So, got shield wall for this matchup. I think this is a game that goes pretty well for us. So, it'll be interesting to see how we pull it off against one of the stupid strong tier 1 meta decks. But okay, so I'm setting up there for mulligans. Definitely getting a Juggler. That's what we want. We've got the Mata to tutor out. In this case, it'll be the scenario. Good to have. Foglet, pretty good for thinning power. A little bit of tempo. And then we've got our Ruehin, K-Ran, and Detlaff for massive points. So you can see our opponent slapping in the Carrick Frigate. That's definitely a reason why you want to be having Pred Dive or Imperial Manticore, because you can punish the greed like that. They want to be stupid and not play around it. They should get punished for it. So it's probably something you might want to put into into your decks. It's what I'm probably going to run in future ones because it's so much value. You go up against matchups, like Firesworn. Pred Die is going to probably suck in most cases with that. You can just mulligan it out, and if you draw it, oh well. I mean, hit a little value sometimes, but it's something really good. Or you could try and slot in Imperial Manticore, and then use a leader. Though that's a bit of commitment for what this deck is looking for, because it needs lots of consumes with pulling in double Detlaff. But see our opponent over here setting up the renewed volunteers coming out. We see that he's a devotion list. And we're just going to proc up our thrives here, just kind of play back and chill. We have the points to compete with having both larvas down, at least at the moment. Alright. We see between Frigate and Anna, those are going to be your Northern Realms, like really big, like round 1 pushing cards that are constant. So not surprised to see it, but we're keeping up really well in points, pulling out that Foglet. So our next commitments, we have probably a Goliath, well, Mata next, but then we can do a Goliath and a Bargus. It's pretty decent. Maybe flesh out something of value. With the Goliath, though, Goliath really hurts like a monster. Like if you're going up against monsters as this deck, because you can sometimes, I've done it before, you pull out their Airgun and it goes straight to graveyard. So denying 13 points is huge. Now obviously, their Ozreal can still get it, but maybe you could do an offensive one. Something to consider. But yeah, the nice thing about anything with monsters though is your point slam is so great that like you can see greedy engines, most other people would be forced out, but we're able to keep up. This thrives just getting massive value for us. And the surprising thing is we get an early Selkirk. It's just phenomenal that we've managed to flush that out. And I think here's the moment where I at least hope I do. Or do I force him to play more? If I play the Goliath, looking back, probably not the smartest play. I should take the pass now. What do I do? Oh, I think I'm going to play it, yeah. Because I want to proc the thrives. That's going to get me... Well, it doesn't do it, so... I actually don't know why. I guess just really to try and force more out of him. Because I don't know what I would be willing to commit out of the next ones. Maybe I was willing to commit Detlaff. Surprised he hadn't played that card yet. It's really interesting. Like, I think I probably would have put that down over a Selkirk. But... especially Selkirk against monsters, like having him up for that round 3 can take some huge stuff. But I have a slightly questionable thing in mind, but we definitely take the pass here because to keep up with that would be too much of a commitment. And this is an interesting part. Our opponent makes a very questionable choice that it's just kind of, I don't mean to be too mean here, but a little bit brain dead plays where they just think they can kind of get away with this against anything. Maybe thinking too much in a vacuum. But yeah, our opponent is going to decide to push us. So the dead giveaway of this is if they drop defender first and they always follow with Vizigo. You see that you're getting pushed and they're trying to 2-0 you. The problem is monsters are far and away the worst faction to do that against because they will keep even points with you and probably make you go down a card. And so see that, and you'll see what to follow next. I have plenty of experiences like this yourself. It's honestly another kind of tech choice. Probably not for monsters, but other ones would be Sandstorm, because you damage each enemy unit at the ends of a row by 3. They drop that Visigoda, you just nab it out of there. Not something huge, but it is a play to consider if you get so tired of running just shield wall and people abusing this. But you see, I go ahead and drop the scenario because I know we're going at it. I know he's going to push me. He's not just throwing a defender. There you see the Visigoda. So I'm going to commit scenario, and I know it's going to stick because we saw with the Marines that he's devotion, so no heat wave. It's good to throw down. And then pull out the Ruehin. Fortunately, we don't have Caranthier, but not much we can do. Proc that first chapter, and we keep rolling. But yeah, Ruehin's interesting because it's good that it's got constant feeds for running all your consumes, so you're gonna have targets for it. But it's a little hit or miss at how many points it actually generates for you. That's the interesting thing, especially at the provision cost. Like, some people who say that Ruehin is completely stupidly strong. I disagree, because you can still get, I mean, playing this, I think if we had put in some different options there, played a little bit better, could have got some more wins. But yeah, I wasn't getting a whole lot of wins with this. Because it generates good value, but you can definitely, current meta, get out pointed by some of these other decks, because you're not shutting down at least any other options. And that's why I think something like a Pred Dive, Manticore, you can even do like a Maruno, like whatever you kind of want to fit in there is going to be good if you can shut down one or two of your opponent's options. And if that just glitched out, that was pretty funny. I'm seeing on my end. Hope you guys see it on yours. That was pretty funny. But we'll be having dominance for a bit, so that is good. Extra consumes. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the points over there, this is the issue our opponent's running into, is he doesn't have the card length to really get value out of these engines. It's going to kind of play slow until, I mean, obviously by the end, with Visigoda and stuff, it's going to get so much value. But it's a little slow compared to our massive point slam with our scenario. So I think if the opponent had gone straight into round 3, you'd be in a better spot, because we're very likely going to make him go down a card. And right back on top. Got that Ruehin popping back out. Fortunately, won't be able to proc the last chapter. Actually, I take that back. We do, because we still have the Detlaff. And if he passes here, we should be able to take. Right, so that would be 3. Yeah, so there you go. And I think we keep card advantage in our 2 cards, yeah. Yep, so perfect. Really nice. Made him go down a card. So, lesson learned from this: don't push monsters, especially like Fruits of Isgith, or Overwhelming Hunger, things like that. It's just not smart. They are going to be able to keep up. So I think if our opponent went straight into the long round, could have been in a better spot. Looking at our draws here, we like seeing the Igern. Kick the Bruxa to try and pull a Mandrake or Naglfar or a Caranthier. Because you could Caranthier. Actually, don't ever do this, but a Caranthier onto a Detlaff. Pull that all the way back through, play another Detlaff, pull that all the way through, the Mandrake, pull it. It would be so many points. Your issue would be you would have to have Haunt there for consumes, because you'd be running out of it. But we lead in with the Noon Wraith. Just kind of a little bit of proactivity, see what our opponent has. And so the nice thing with Overwhelming Hunger, right, is we can play that Igern with 1 card left in hand and just instantly consume it. So that way, get the points, and don't worry about a little bit of damage, which Northern Realms could have. So I see this card drop and I'm going, okay, he's going for a duel. Right. Or I actually thought maybe he's got a slight little commandos package hidden away in there for some good tempo. That'd be actually really scary. But fortunately, we don't see that. So next, I believe I'm going to go for the Andrega. It's eggs or larva? I forget what the name is. Just, yeah, Andrega eggs. Drop that in, kind of keep some of the proactivity, not giving him too many good targets, especially because I assume that, you know, it's either commandos or a dual unit that he's probably going to give that zeal to. So we wouldn't want to drop an egg and then just instantly lose it. Or even if we consume it, you know, he could just tank right into whatever we put. Each side here kind of not playing too many crazy things. So my, I guess, thought process there was deciding whether or not to consume it now or wait for the K-Ran. Decided now would be slightly better, because K-Ran we're building into a super tall unit, and with shield wall typically having dual units readily available. Not really. Now we got the Selkirk earlier, but there's, my guess is Unsay, or Unsay's is his last card, especially with that Baraxis coming out. So we dropped the Igern here. And I decide not to consume it. I think for two reasons, because A, if I do that, the points are lost, because it would still probably just get doled down and killed. Like, I don't think the extra 2 is going to matter that much for what he could potentially have. And so I'm like, any damage is killing that regardless. Not much we can do about it. Or we consume that, right, and he doesn't have it and he's got a Bloody Baron. We're losing value on that, because Baron doesn't do anything to an Igrin like that, but it would to the boosted Ekimara. So we decided to hold it, because we're like, if it's Unsay, it's dying either way. But if it's Baron, which it turned out to be, it was a good call on my part, we're all set. And he gets pretty terrible targets for it. We're going to drop in the K-Ran. We're going to probably consume the bleeding units to not lose value off of that. We also have the Andrega eggs to get some more, which we take things to consume. Then I think our opponent just goes ahead and forfeits. As I kind of decide here, what do I want to do? Even though I had it in the bag, should have just passed. But what can you say? But hey, deck beat Shield Wall, mostly due to our opponent making, I think, early commitment of Selkirk and trying to push us when he didn't have the cards in hand to do an accurate push of that. So. Alright. Oh boy. Time to lose. Now that's from previous. I didn't consume under goal yet. I'm trying to flush something big out. Guess we can kick a Noon Wraith. Guess we'll kick another Noon Wraith. Golly. Okay, I'm gonna play in Dragon over here. A little mirror of our opponent. Then we'll follow that up with Foglet, Goliath, Consume, or maybe Consume with Barghest. Narrow into that probably isn't the best thing you can do narrow for, but decent tempo, decent thinning. Maybe he has the golds that he wants. Okay. Be afraid, opponent. Be very afraid. Let's flush something good out. Wow. Come on. Holy cow. What is this guy's hand then? Dude. What the heck? A Noon Wraith was the top one?
Husband dear, where are you?
And I think we'll pass. Just don't really care to play much more. It wouldn't gain us too much value, and that guy's got a decent point lead. But that Noon Wraith coming out was kind of like, what is going on here? Okay, we have our consumes. Come on, give me some value here. Yeah, we're missing quite a few of our golds here because we're playing Gwent, the game of draw your golds. So if you're not drawing them, might give us an offensive Osro. Okay, you could just be playing that straight up. So we're gonna throw in Dragodon. So if he passes, we're at least... How are we actually coming back from 13 points? We're not. Well, we gotta get 12. Guess we're going down a card? Unless he keeps playing. I hope he keeps playing. I think he's gonna pass though. Wow, alright. Okay. We've seen 2 leader charges come out. I guess we could hit Naglfar and hope we hit something like an Egger ourselves. But we could hit so much stuff that we wouldn't necessarily want to. Okay, yeah, this guy's going off. We're gonna need to respond. So, let's see what this hits us. Haunt. Haunt is pretty good here. Detlaff is pretty good here. I think we're gonna go Detlaff. Then we'll have a bunch of consumes ready for him. I think this is the round to do it because we have Mandrake, we have lots of consumes. Haunt could help us in round 3. Hit the Detlaff. You want to do it. Okay, start consuming. Might actually see the Mandrake thing here though, so would be cool. Would be cool to actually see that happen because that's kind of the whole idea with this, and I've actually played quite a few games and not had that happen. I'm gonna play around potential Igni because you never know when you might see it. Always wise to do so and plan accordingly. Should always do that whenever you're going up against. You should always plan for certain cards being played, like your Ignis or whatever, and you should also plan for like faction specific. Like play around assassinations, play around treasons, tavern brawls, pred dives. Or like when you're going against typical overwhelming hunger, your Imperial Manticores and stuff like that, like Marunas. It's good to do. Okay. Well, we're seeing the Mandrake combo here. Okay, what's the way that we can get this? Can we commit that? So that and this. So that gets us 6 from the leader and then 3, so that's 9. Yeah, that would do it. So, we don't go down a card, that's good. He still has a leader charge, we don't. But hopefully a little combo here would be nice. We need consumes, that's what we need. Ozra would be nice too. Okay. Good. Okay, so we get 2 consumes with that, potentially 3, and then we get 3 with that, so that's gonna be plenty. We don't. Alright, well, could be worse. Could be worse. Drew pretty decent on the whole. Missing out on either one of those hurts. Oh, a heat. That's not good. We're just gonna leave that. We'll put one on with the K-Ran so it doesn't go as tall, and save that for an actual good consume. There's his haunt. Hopefully we can generate more points. Hopefully. Really would like to win this one. Especially after they played a match and consuming a Noon Wraith to try and not have a super tall unit really hurt. That's going to win it for him. It's unfortunate. It gave him enough to give him a massive Great Oak. So, lost by 1 point, I think. Yeah, we lose this. I just cannot get things going with this, man.
I shall never be alone again.
Oh. Alright, welcome back. First of all, hope you guys enjoyed. Secondly, you kind of saw some potential that this has, but on the whole, you can kind of see it get smacked around a little bit. It was pretty consistently. We were losing by just a couple points. So I think there might need to be a couple tweaks made to handle that. I really do want to probably throw in a Pred Dive or Imperial Manticore or something like that. Just to abuse some of the greed and have a little bit more say in the opponent's board, because this is totally on your side. You can't interact anything on your opponent's board, and that can really hurt in the current state. So something to keep in mind. But it's pretty fun getting that Mandrake Detlaff combo off, and just the sheer amount of consumes you have, and you can keep just cycling these cards through. It's pretty fun. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one.